The first step in the installation process has already taken place long before the AC Patriot was ordered. You see, we only work with a handful of experienced, skilled air conditioning companies in a given area. These companies are our partners and the only companies authorized to install the AC Patriot. All technicians are licensed, insured, and properly trained. We do this to make sure that you have the best professional service in the business. The AC Patriot is not a miracle product and does not fix a broken air conditioning system. The product simply improves the performance of an air conditioner that is already operating properly. Therefore, before each AC Patriot installation, the technician will complete a basic system check absolutely free of charge. Once the complimentary system check is complete and the technician determines that the air conditioner is in good operating condition, then we are ready to take the initial baseline measurements. Because we offer a money-back performance guarantee with each AC Patriot installation, we must demonstrate performance improvement by completing our installation form. The installation form captures the before and after measurements of 4 key data points: air duct temperature, startup amperage, running amperage, and noise level. As long as there is improvement in at least 2 of these categories, the system is deemed to be improved. After the equipment information has been entered, it is now time to take the first before measurement, the running amperage. The technician will use a standard amp meter and record the running amperage and read the amperage across the run wire from the contactor. Next, the noise level will be recorded. To measure the noise level, the technician will hold the decimal meter halfway up to the top of the condensing unit and 1 foot away. The technician will record the lowest reading. Now let's go inside and take the vent temperature reading. The technician will now record the temperature coming out of the air vents. It doesn't matter which air vent is used as long as the same one is used for both measurements. We are now ready to record the final before measurement, the startup amperage. The technician will pull the disconnect. The disconnect is a safety device that allows the technician to shut down power to the unit to avoid electrocution. The technician will now place the amp meter on the start wire, and the amp meter will measure how many amps the system pulled during startup. First, we'll start with the 521 compressor saver. The 521 compressor saver is installed with the power to the unit turned off. Next, the technician will apply ice22. Ice22 comes in 2 different packages. There is a can, which can be used on R22 systems only, and the bottle, which can be used on either R22 or 410A systems. Now that the AC Patriot is installed, we need to wait at least 30 minutes for you to see the initial benefits of the ice22. In the meantime, let's take a closer look at what is happening inside your system. An air conditioning system works just like a sponge, but rather than absorbing a liquid, it absorbs heat. The air conditioner absorbs the heat from the air. As the heat is absorbed from the air, the resulting air is cooler and it is blown back through the house. Air conditioners use a gas more commonly referred to as freon or refrigerant to absorb the heat from the air. As the freon absorbs the heat, it is taken outside to a squeezer where the heat is released. The freon then returns back to the house to absorb more heat. This cycle continues until the thermostat indicates the house is at the right temperature. Inside of your system, there exists an oil to lubricate the compressor. However, the oil inside the compressor doesn't stay there. It actually escapes and migrates through the system. Over time, the oil will start to build up along the walls of the line. Think of the oil like plaque building up inside of your arteries. If the buildup gets too large, you'll have a heart attack. In the case of your air conditioner, it'll just stop working. As the oil builds up in the line, the refrigerant can no longer absorb the same amount of heat from the air as there is a barrier. As a result, the air conditioner cannot cool the house as efficiently, leaving you hotter. Furthermore, because the air conditioner has to run more to provide the same amount of cooling, you will consume more electricity and have higher electric bills. Lastly, the oil that is supposed to be lubricating the compressor is no longer there. This leaves your compressor more exposed, more vulnerable to wear and tear, and noisier. When ice22 is added to the compressor, it'll essentially clean the inside of the entire system. Any compressor oil that has built up will be broken down at the molecular level and be allowed to flow freely through the system back to the compressor. Once the buildup has been removed, ice22 will coat the line and prevent the oil from building up in the future. This is why ice22 can be applied to both new and old systems. Let's take a look at how the entire system is impacted when the oil starts to build up. heat transfer capability is reduced, and with a partially clogged line, the compressor works harder to pump refrigerant through the system. This means electricity costs go up and the system is under more stress. As the ice22 is added, it begins to circulate through the system, removing any oil buildup and providing its own protecting layer. The result is a more efficient system. The heat transfer capability of the air conditioner is improved, more heat is absorbed, leaving behind cooler air. This increased efficiency means that your unit will run less to achieve your desired thermostat temperature, saving you money on your electric bill. Furthermore, with a clear, clean line, the compressor will not work as hard and it'll use less energy while it runs. Lastly, the compressor will be quieter and last longer as it is now properly lubricated and running less than before. Results can usually be seen within 30 minutes of installation. ice22 is a great product that helps protect and prolong the life of your air conditioning system. Air conditioning systems with ice22 use less energy, provide cooler air, are quieter, last longer, and run less. Now that 30 minutes has passed, let's complete the installation by taking the after measurements. Remember, ice22 typically takes a good day or two to circulate through the system, but many of the benefits can be witnessed in as little as 30 minutes. Let's start indoors with the air duct temperature. The air duct temperature should be measured from the same duct and location as before. Now let's record the running amperage and the noise level. Let's measure the noise level first. Now let's take the running amperage. Before the measurement is taken, let's take a quick look at what happens inside the system with respect to amp readings. When the system starts up, the amps will shoot up. As we see from the lock rotor amps and from our before startup measurement, the amps are very high. This is for less than a second and the system returns to a steady state or a more constant amp draw. When we introduce ice22 to the system, temporarily the system has to use more power to help circulate or push the oil throughout the system while keeping the current refrigerant flow rate constant. As a result, it is common to expect the amps to initially rise. Then, as ice22 has coated the system and not needing to be pushed anymore, the amps will steadily drop and eventually settle to a new, lower, steady state. Because each system is different, the amount of time needed to go through this temporary cycle varies. Because of this, we occasionally see higher initial measurements on the running amps after measurement. Well, let's see what happened here. Let's summarize the results.